Hollywood legend Clint Eastwood just turned 95, and his $400 million fortune has become the talk of Tinseltown. But here's what nobody's talking about. Recent family tensions and a shocking revelation about his will have left his 8 children in tears. Before we dive into the explosive details about his fortune and the family drama that's been kept under wraps, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you love vintage Hollywood stories with a modern twist. Picture this. A man who started with $750 per episode on Rawhide now sits on a fortune that would make most A-listers jealous. But the real story isn't just about the money. It's about what happened last year that changed everything for the Eastwood family. His longtime partner, Christina Sandera, passed away suddenly at 61 from a heart attack, leaving Clint devastated and his children worried about their aging father. That tragedy sparked conversations about inheritance that nobody saw coming. The journey from San Francisco street kid to Hollywood royalty reads like a movie script itself. Born in 1930 during the Great Depression, Clint Eastwood Jr. wasn't born with a silver spoon. His father worked as a manufacturing executive, moving the family around California constantly. Young Clint held odd jobs that would make today's actors laugh: lifeguard, grocery clerk, forest firefighter, even a hay baler operator. Nobody could have predicted this working-class kid would become worth nearly $500 million. But here's where it gets interesting. While everyone knows about his 8 children, what most people don't know is that Clint recently made changes to his estate plan that sent shockwaves through the family. Sources close to the family reveal that not all children will inherit equally, and the reasons why will absolutely stun you. Let's talk numbers, because they're mind-blowing. In 1964, Clint took a massive risk on an Italian Western called A Fistful of Dollars for just $15,000. That same man now commands millions per film and has his production company, Malpaso Productions, churning out Oscar winners. By 1968, he was already negotiating like a mogul, securing $400,000 plus 25% of net box office for Hang 'Em High. That's the equivalent of $3 million today, plus back-end profits. The real genius move came when he established Malpaso Productions in 1967. Named after a creek on his Monterey property, this company gave him control over his destiny. While other actors were begging for roles, Clint was producing, directing, and starring in his own films. Million Dollar Baby alone grossed $216 million. Unforgiven pulled in $159 million. Gran Torino, made for just $33 million, earned $270 million worldwide. Now, here's something that will blow your mind. In 2021, at 91 years old, Clint won a legal battle that earned him $6.1 million. A Lithuanian company had been using his image to sell CBD products without permission, creating fake interviews where he supposedly endorsed their products. Clint fought back and won, proving that even in his 90s, nobody messes with Dirty Harry. But the fortune extends far beyond Hollywood paychecks. Clint has invested $75 million in the stock market, with holdings that read like a Fortune 500 list. $5 million in Apple, $8 million in ExxonMobil, $4 million in Walmart, positions in Tesla, MasterCard, and Google's parent company Alphabet. His investment strategy is as sharp as his movie choices, diversifying across tech, energy, and retail sectors. The crown jewel of his investment portfolio, Pebble Beach Golf Links. In 1999, alongside Arnold Palmer, Clint invested $2 million per share in the Pebble Beach company. Today, those shares are worth between $8 and $9 million each. That's a 400% return on investment. Not bad for a guy who started out as a swimming instructor in the Army. Let's talk real estate, because this is where things get really impressive. His 15,900 square foot estate in Carmel by the Sea, built when he was 80, is worth $20 million. The Bel Air mansion, designed by architect Paul McLean, $30 million. Rising River Ranch in Northern California spans 1,167 acres. His Sun Valley, Idaho property, featured in the Marilyn Monroe film Bus Stop, is listed at $16 million. Add the oceanfront Maui property and his stake in Mission Ranch Hotel, which he saved from demolition in the 80s, and you're looking at over $100 million in real estate alone. Now about those 8 children. And this is where the story takes a dramatic turn. Laurie, his eldest, was born in 1954 and given up for adoption without Clint's knowledge. They reunited decades later, and she's now a fixture at family events. Kimber, born in '64 to actress Roxanne Tunis. Kyle and Allison, from his first marriage to Maggie Johnson. Scott and Kathryn, whose mother was flight attendant Jocelyn Reeves. Francesca, with actress Frances Fisher. And Morgan, his youngest at 28, with ex-wife Dina Ruiz. But here's the shocking part that has everyone talking. Recent reports suggest Clint has been restructuring his estate following Christina's passing. Sources say he's created separate trusts for each child, but the amounts vary significantly based on their relationship and involvement in his life. Scott Eastwood, who's built his own successful acting career, recently revealed his father made him work for everything, never giving handouts despite the family fortune. The family dynamics are complex, to say the least. Kathryn Eastwood sparked controversy in 2024 and 2025 with public outbursts against her siblings and ex-stepmother Dina. The situation got so heated that Dina threatened legal action, and Kathryn was reportedly cut off from family communications. This drama has raised questions about her inheritance status. Kyle Eastwood, the jazz musician who's composed scores for 9 of his father's films, maintains the strongest artistic bond with Clint. Living between London and California, he's carved out his own successful career while staying close to Dad. Industry insiders suggest he might inherit not just money, but control of Malpaso Productions. Allison, who retired from acting but came back for Clint's film The Mule, runs the Eastwood Ranch Foundation for Animal Welfare. She's been married to sculptor Stacy Poitras since 2013 and maintains a low profile despite her Hollywood lineage. Her dedication to charitable causes mirrors her father's own philanthropic interests. And then there's Scott, the most famous of Clint's children. With roles in Suicide Squad, Pacific Rim Uprising, and Fast and Furious films, he's built his own fortune. But here's what nobody talks about. Scott spent most of his childhood in Hawaii with his mother, barely knowing his famous father until high school. Their relationship today is strong, but those lost years created a complex dynamic. Recent developments have made the inheritance question even more pressing. In June 2025, reports surfaced that Clint was developing a new film at 95, proving retirement isn't in his vocabulary. But family friends worry about his health following Christina's death. His son Scott gave a rare update in January, saying his father was doing good, but acknowledging the loss hit him hard. The estate planning gets even more complicated when you consider Clint's charitable interests. He's been a major supporter of the Monterey Peninsula Foundation, veterans' causes, and environmental conservation. Legal experts estimate he could leave tens of millions to charity, potentially reducing what goes to his children. Here's something that will make you think. California has no state inheritance tax, but federal estate taxes on $400 million could eat up 40% of the estate if not properly structured. That's $160 million to Uncle Sam. This is why Clint has reportedly spent years setting up trusts, foundations, and other vehicles to protect his children's inheritance. The comparison to other celebrity estates is sobering. When Aretha Franklin passed without a proper will, her family fought for years. Prince's estate became a legal nightmare. Michael Jackson's estate, while successful, faced countless challenges. Clint has clearly learned from these cautionary tales. Morgan Eastwood, his youngest daughter, recently had a baby with husband Tanner Koopmans. At 28, she represents a different generation of Eastwood children. Unlike her older siblings who fought for their father's attention during his busy years, Morgan grew up with a more present father. Clint attended all her softball games, looking ridiculous among younger parents, but loving every minute. Francesca's story adds another layer. After a brief marriage to Jonah Hill's brother that was annulled after a week, she's now expecting her second child. She appeared in reality TV and worked on several films, but but her relationship with the family has been complicated by the public nature of her mother, Frances Fisher's comments about Clint's parenting. The cars tell their own story about Clint's wealth. His 1972 Gran Torino from the movie is priceless to collectors. The 1966 Ferrari 275 GTB, a gift for his role in The Witches, is worth $1.7 million. The 74 Ferrari 365 GT4 Berlinetta Boxer adds another $475,000. Even his daily drivers are impressive. A classic Cadillac Eldorado, a Pontiac Trans Am, and surprisingly, a 2014 Fiat 500e electric car. But here's what's really fascinating. Despite his massive wealth, Clint shops at discount stores and lives relatively modestly for someone of his means. Friends say he still clips coupons and complains about wine prices at restaurants. This Depression-era mentality has influenced how he views inheritance. He believes in earning your way, not living off family money. The Malpaso Productions legacy alone could be worth hundreds of millions. The company owns rights to numerous films and continues generating revenue from streaming, syndication, and international distribution. Whoever inherits control of Malpaso inherits a piece of Hollywood history and a continuous income stream. Recent legal documents suggest Clint has created what's called a dynasty trust, designed to preserve wealth for multiple generations. This means his grandchildren and great-grandchildren could benefit from his fortune long after his children are gone. It's a way of ensuring the Eastwood name remains financially powerful for decades. Like this video and comment below who you think will inherit the most from Clint's fortune. And don't forget to subscribe for more exclusive vintage Hollywood stories you won't find anywhere else. The emotional aspect of this story can't be ignored. Laurie Murray, who didn't meet her father until her 30s, told reporters their reunion was love at first sight. Now 71, she's become a regular at Eastwood family events. Her children, Kelsey and LT, have also been embraced by their famous grandfather. The family recently gathered for Clint's 95th birthday in May 2025. Frances Fisher, Francesca's mother, revealed it was a big celebration, but noted Clint's increasingly frail appearance worried everyone. The man who once did his own stunts now moves slowly, though his mind remains sharp as ever. Industry insiders reveal another shocking detail. Clint has been quietly selling off portions of his stock portfolio, liquidating approximately $20 million in assets over the past year. Some speculate this is estate planning, converting assets to cash for easier distribution. Others worry it signals health concerns he's not discussing publicly. The Pebble Beach investment deserves special attention. Beyond the monetary value, it represents Clint's love for golf and the Monterey Peninsula. Sources suggest he's arranged for his Pebble Beach shares to be held in a trust that benefits all 8 children equally, one of the few assets that won't be divided unequally. What about the Hollywood memorabilia? Clint owns props, costumes, and scripts from 70 years in the business. The poncho from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly alone could fetch millions at auction. His Oscar statues, Directors Guild Awards, and other honors represent not just achievement, but serious monetary value. The international aspect is significant too. Clint's films have earned over $3 billion globally, with continuing revenue from markets like Japan, where he's revered. These international royalties flow through complex corporate structures that will need careful management after he's gone. Here's something nobody discusses: the burden of being Clint Eastwood's heir. Scott has talked about the pressure of the family name, how he used his mother's surname early in his career to avoid nepotism accusations. This psychological weight comes with the financial inheritance. The Mission Ranch Hotel isn't just property, it's Clint's heart. He saved it from demolition, restored it personally, and often plays piano in the bar. Family members say he wants it preserved exactly as is, with profits supporting local Carmel charities. It's less inheritance and more stewardship. As 2025 progresses, the family watches nervously. Clint's dismissal of a fake interview claiming he was retiring sparked concerns about his mental state, though he proved sharp enough to immediately debunk the false story. His representatives confirmed he's still developing projects, but privately, family members worry each film might be his last. The truth about why his family cried isn't just about money. It's about a father who was absent during their childhoods, building the very fortune they'll inherit. It's about second chances, like with Laurie. It's about complex relationships that money can't fix. And it's about the reality that at 95, every family gathering could be the last. Estate attorneys familiar with similar situations estimate the final distribution could take years after Clint's passing. Between taxes, trusts, and potential disputes, the $400 million fortune might shrink to $200 million by the time it reaches his heirs. Still life-changing money, but not what headlines suggest. The most valuable inheritance might not be monetary. It's the Eastwood name, the connections, the legacy. As one family friend put it, you can't put a price on being Clint Eastwood's child in Hollywood. As we wrap up this incredible story, remember that behind every fortune is a human story. Clint Eastwood's wealth represents decades of hard work, smart decisions, and yes, complicated family dynamics. Whether his children inherit millions or memories, they're part of Hollywood history. What do you think about Clint's fortune and family situation? Drop a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe for more exclusive vintage Hollywood content. Until next time, this is your inside look at the real stories behind Tinseltown's biggest legends.